Hi, good morning. I'm Raj Narayan. Welcome to Bits and Banter. Today we have a guest on the show, and it is none other than Arvind Shankar. He was with us during most of the IPL last time. Although I must say that this time he is not going to talk about IPL. Arvind, hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So Arvind works for a company out of Kochi. I think we have spoken about it before. So and he loves cricket. So Arvind, what's your take this morning?
So I think, as we know, India has advanced into the World Test Championship finals. This format of having a Test Championship final is happening for the first time, I believe, and India has been really dominant over these last 2 years when this Test Championship began, and currently they have reached the finals after the recently concluded England tour. So I just want to go back about 5-6 years back. uh, when 5-6 years back when this journey actually began, and want to specify on a few factors which I personally feel that have been the reasons why India has not only been doing well in test cricket but has been really dominant in test cricket. So I just wanted to touch upon uh, few points on why India has been really dominant in test
Sure.
cricket.
So in your mind, what would be, so let us take one at a time. I mean, instead of sort of going completely. So
Right.
to you, so I mean, we'll just go back a little. Maybe 5-6 years would be the time frame that we all usually carry in our minds. But the journey started probably 20 years back, but we won't go there. That's for another time, for another conversation. When Saurav Ganguly sort of brought this in-your-face sort of cricket to India, and he was ably supported by the likes of Harbhajan Singh, Yuvraj Singh, Virendra Sehwag, and you had a bunch of guys who were like in your face.
Yeah.
They were not, shy of expressing themselves. And then you had the greats, the all-time greats in that team. It started from there, and here we are. So, in your mind, what would be that first element that you think made a difference to this team over a period of time?
I think just to continue from where you just told, it's about the fearless approach which has been instilled in the team. Yes, I think that attitude began probably about 20 years, 15, 20 years before. But I just want to pick up on a particular game which actually showed that we are not going to save the game. We are going to win the game. It was in 2014, the Adelaide Test, when we had to chase about 350 odd in a day's time, and India was going for a win. So I think it has got more to do with the fearless approach, taking on the bowlers and going for the absolute kill. So this fearless approach has been instilled. It started, I rightly said, it started about so many years back, but this approach has been clearly seen uh, over these years, and India has performed really well. If you can easily go back to the recent tour down under, when youngsters like Rishabh Pant, I mean, didn't give a damn about it. He just said,
I know. Yeah.
I'm just going to win. I'm just going to go after the bowling and win the game for
Yeah.
the game for the team. So
You're
one
right.
main important
Let
thing
me
is
just,
fearless approach.
yeah, let me just bring that in. You said a very good point. Let me just bring that one factor in. You said it right, because see, if you think of the Sydney Test, but for Pant getting out at that time when he
Yeah,
did, they would have probably gone for a win.
they would have probably
Right?
gone for the win.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. And the same happened in the Brisbane Test. So you're right about that. So I mean, draw is not an option uh, till the last minute. So I mean, till you have 9-10 Jack playing, then probably draw comes into an option. Till then, win is the only option. So excellent. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So what would be the next thing? What would be
Yeah.
the another element that you think made this possible?
So formation of a core team specifically for Test cricket. I think again going back to those times when we had Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly, VVS Lakshman, Harbhajan Singh, Zahir Khan. We had all these players actually playing both the formats of cricket. Yes, they were the backbone of Test cricket as well, but they formed the core team. Um, we really thought as to if the Fab Four or the Fab Five step down, or once the time is done in cricket, how is India going to? I mean, who will take the Indian cricket forward? So yes, I think there were players like Pujara, Rahane, Kohli, Ashwin, Jadeja, Shami, Ishan Sharma. So when I name these 6-7 players, they are all specialists or experts, and they know the roles and responsibilities very well. They are not a particular player playing for a particular position. So every player whom I have named have their own roles and responsibilities, and these 6-7 players have been really a part of this core team or core test team over these last 5-6 years, and have contributed magnificently in this India's success in Test cricket. So
Yeah.
I believe that this core team, the formation of core team like Pujara, of course, Kohli is there. Then you have Pujara, Rahane, Ishan Sharma, Mohammad Shami, Ashwin, and Jadeja. So when I name these players, they're more into Test cricket rather than the white ball cricket, at least the last 2-3 years. So that has been very, very important, and that has led to the success of the Indian team.
Yeah, I'll add to that. You're right, because I'll add to that. If you go back to the Australia series, I love talking about the Australia series because that was amazing. So many of the guys named, okay, somebody like a Jadeja was injured and he sort of had to come back home. But the chaps who stayed back, you could actually see them mentoring new chaps.
Correct.
So
Ashwin and Bumrah were doing that actually.
So Bumrah was standing outside and he was literally telling Mohammad Siraj and this guy, what is his name, Natarajan, what to do. He was standing outside and he was carrying water. And Ashwin was waiting around and sort of loitering around the boundary and telling Washington Sundar what to do. So you are right. I mean, and then one more thing I want to bring in here is that, I was reading somewhere that there is a bowling unit also. So what has happened to Indian cricket today is that there is a bowling unit which has its own mind. Because at the end of the day, Test cricket is about taking 20 wickets. You might score any number of runs. You still need to take 20 wickets. So these bowlers have got together and said, you know what, this is what we are going to do. So they have bowlers meetings where a fellow like Ashwin, for example, like he can think like a batsman. He bats. Tomorrow, Washington Sundar, if he is part of that team, he can think like a batsman.
Absolutely.
So that also has brought about a difference. So that is something which is, I think, very, very critical and unique to this set of team, the people personnel, because you suddenly have not 12 people, but 25 people from whom to choose from.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Yes. What's the third now? I mean, this is getting interesting. What's the third thought?
Yeah. So just taking off from where you left, talking about the bowlers and their ability to take 20 wickets. Now, yes, I mean, you take 20 wickets, that you're doing pretty well in Test cricket. A main reason for that, why the current set of bowlers are taking 20 wickets, is because of the workload management of our fast bowlers. I think over the years, how difficult it has been for Indian bowlers. Indian fast bowlers, they are very prone to injuries. And recently, we saw Ishan Sharma completing 100 Test wickets. So, I mean, for an Indian fast bowler to complete 100 Test wickets, 100 Test matches, so that is really, really commendable. So, one example I would like to cite here is that Jasprit Bumrah played his first home Test match 3 years after making his Test debut. So, generally, what has been the practice is that you give a bowler a debut Test match at home, give them that confidence of doing well, the team doing well, the bowlers also pick wickets simultaneously. But no, I think there was a clear agenda. There was a clear focus on the bowlers' workload. And Jasprit Bumrah has been one example where he made his home Test debut only after 3 years after making his Test debut. So also another important thing which I saw in the last few years is how the rotation of the bowlers has been going around. They've been given short spells, not more than 5-6 overs. I still remember the Perth Test. Yes, Perth Test, Ishan Sharma was made to bowl 10 overs, 11 overs continuously, and that's how he got Ricky Ponting out. But today it's not like that. Every bowler is skilled. Every bowler has been made to train hard. But at the same time, on the ground, they've been given very short spells so that every bowler, after each spell, they are energetic and are in the frame of mind to come and pick wickets. So workload management of the pace bowlers has been really, really critical in the team success.
Yeah. So addition to that, I mean, the fact that there are pace bowlers suddenly coming out of nowhere
Correct.
into Indian cricket. I mean, there was a time when Kapil Dev, I mean, I belong to the Kapil Dev era. We used to look for the next fast bowler. Okay, who is Kapil Dev? Who is coming? And if you recall, Kapil Dev actually, I mean, in a program, in a some sort of a celebrity program, he said, he replied, he said, look, somebody asked him, where can we get the next Kapil Dev? He said, look, my parents are sort of old to produce another one.
And a couple.
So that was the state that Indian fast bowling was in, whereas neighboring
True.
Pakistan used to produce fast bowlers by the dozen.
Even today
Suddenly,
also.
yeah, even today. But suddenly, we are more than a match today. See, if you look at in fast bowling richness of the Indian team versus Pakistan team, person to person today, we are ahead.
Yeah.
I don't see Pakistan having this sort of crop. I mean, you do have the Nadeem Shah, you do have one of Shaheen Shah Afridi,
Shaheen
you have
Afridi, yeah.
people coming in, but then it is not as much as India. I mean, imagine a situation. There is a guy who comes into who goes as a net bowler
Net
and
bowler.
suddenly he's playing test match. There is another guy who's happily loitering around there. He comes in as a third seamer and he's leading the attack in the next match.
Yeah.
So that is something which has happened. I think that I think there the credit goes to the way the system has actually, the BCCI has actually created a system of A tours and under 19 tours. And I mean, sort of, if you look at it today, look at the number of players who have come from A tours and under 19 tours.
Correct.
Apart from the ones you mentioned, the Cheteshwar Pujaras, the Kohlis, the Rahanes, and a couple of others, everyone comes from that under 19 tour of the past 5-6 years.
Yeah, 8 tours.
So I think that is amazing. So the number of fast bowlers coming also allowed the fast bowlers to actually have their workload managed. And we saw what James Anderson can do. At 38, he is playing his 160th test match. I don't think any fast bowler has ever played that.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely
yes. What else? What else? This is fantastic.
Again, just continuing from what you were talking about, the India A tours, the India under 19 tours, and the domestic circuit, the Ranji trophies.
Yeah.
The one interesting thing which I saw recently in the last 10 years, we generally had that era where we had players mainly from Mumbai. Mumbai was the dominant force in Ranji Trophy cricket for so many years. But in the last 10 years, Mumbai has won Ranji Trophy only twice. They've been the runners-up another time. We had teams like Rajasthan, where actually Navdeep Saini hails from Rajasthan. So Rajasthan winning, Gujarat, Saurashtra, Vidarbha, Karnataka. So this clearly shows that the talent pool has in the other areas apart from Mumbai have been really doing well. The state associations which come under the BCCI have set up the infrastructures for the upcoming youngsters to do well and give them a feel of what cricket is all about in those respective states, have resulted into have culminated into these wonderful results where they have those states have actually started doing well in Ranji Trophy. And if you do well, obviously you get more chances of being picked. Players like Mayank Agrawal, he's from Karnataka. Then Mohammad Siraj. Then we have from Gujarat. Now we saw Akshar Patel. Akshar Patel has been really tremendously doing well in domestic cricket. We had to wait for Jadeja to get injured for him to come and do well.
Yeah, so he probably won't play the next match anyways.
Never know.
After taking 27 wickets, he might not play the next match.
That is true. That is true. Players like Karun Nair, who scored a triple 100. Now he's not in the picture, but I'm just saying Karun Nair, Mayank Agrawal. I mean, they were the core players of Karnataka, and they were really dominating domestic cricket, because of which they came into the Indian circuit. So strong domestic cricket, strong team selected for India A tours. And obviously, I think this a small mention about has to go to that silent man called Rahul Dravid, who has groomed players in these last so many years. So it has to go. It is. I'll definitely want to give a special mention on the domestic cricket circuit over the last 10 years.
So you can. I mean, you're in good company, because today Saurav Ganguly has mentioned exactly that. In a news report, he has actually said that, I mean, the fact that you are having an assembly line, the credit goes to his team. I mean, Dravid and Ganguly were one unit, right? I mean, it's all they
Correct.
started together, and
Yes.
so he has put the credit squarely on Dravid's portal and said, "Look, you know what? This is what has happened." So it's there in today's paper. So you are in good company, man. So so
Yeah,
nice. So
correct.
what do you think about IPL? Let me ask you a question. What do you think about IPL and its impact on Test cricket?
Uh, See, again, IPL has again, like I told the first point about the fearless approach.
Hmm.
IPL has been a reason for that. And so for players, some players like I mean, I can only name Rishabh Pant as of now, but for him to be that fearless, IPL and T20 cricket has contributed quite a lot. Uh, but I personally feel there's another side to it. We saw test matches getting over in 2 days, 3 days. I never believed that the pitches yes,
That-
pitches did play a part, but it was not the major reason for these
You're right.
defenses.
Yeah.
The main problem is with the batsmen's defenses. So
Yeah.
they are unable to play defensive cricket as much as what the yesteryear cricketers were actually playing. Defense has become really poor. We saw how even Virat Kohli's defensive cricket. I mean, it was not as good as what he was about a couple of years back. So I can't blame IPL for Virat Kohli's issue. But talking about English cricket or probably even Australian cricket, Indian cricket to a certain extent, it has got a lot to do with the defensive approach, which has been lacking. Maybe I feel is because of IPL or T20 cricket.
Yeah, it is you make a valid point, because see, honestly speaking, but for even look at Cheteshwar Pujara, who doesn't play too much of, I mean, he's playing IPL now. I think he's part of CSK.
CSK now.
Yeah. So Pujara himself, who's a very defensive, who can actually bat out hours upon hours. Against spin, he was looking a bit wary.
Vulnerable.
So I think you are right, because but then it is resulting in Test cricket getting a lot of mileage. So for me, I mean, it cuts both ways. IPL is fun to watch, no doubt about it, and Test cricket is also becoming fun to watch, because people. I think Virat Kohli also mentioned it in the post-match, in the last post-match press conference.
Correct.
Where he specifically said, "Look, defenses. We don't have people with defensive techniques like our predecessors." So I think you are right. That is the thing. Anything else that you find interesting with India's?
No, I think these I think whatever I mentioned about it, I mean, the base factors will be whatever I've covered. So that's what I feel. I mean, like you also say that I mean, this journey started many years back. I think today we are dominant in Test cricket. It's not that we are doing well in Test cricket. We are dominant in Test cricket. It's because of all these factors, all these reasons, which required years and years of efforts.
Yeah.
And I think one special mention is about the world-class infrastructure what BCCI has been providing across the country. Like in 2007, 2004, 2005, we had a cricketer coming from Ranchi, where Ranchi did not have the basic infrastructure for cricketers to play there. Today, it has one really very good stadium. Test matches. I mean, it is one of the test stadiums in India currently. Similarly, we see other places, even in Kerala also, we have two really good stadiums in Kerala, and other states also. So BCCI has done a really, really good job in ensuring that world-class infrastructure has been set across all the states where we can bring in talent and produce exceptional talent in cricket.
Yeah, so I'll just sorry, I'll just conclude with two small points.
Sure.
One is, I'm picking up from what you said, Kerala. You look at the number of Kerala players who have suddenly gained mileage in IPL this time.
Yes.
A bunch of them suddenly are there. I mean, Mohammad Azharuddin, Vishnu Vinod, so many guys suddenly, and Sanju Samson, of course, has been the flag bearer. So, I mean, these suddenly, when Kerala has been a state which is known for its football and athletics.
Yes.
Suddenly, cricket has become popular. Suddenly, you see even a small ground. I mean, from where I come from, Palakkad. I mean, I've seen Ranji matches being played there. So you actually can walk around and sit there and watch a Ranji match in progress and go off. So I think that is where BCCI has made a difference. And for one final point, one thing which we must sort of put up front is Virat Kohli might be the world's best white ball cricketer, but our man is genuinely interested in test match cricket.
Yeah.
Our man wants to win bloody every test that he plays in. So I think that is something very important. Although he's a white ball, see, his claim to fame and the way he rose to fame in international cricket was through white ball cricket.
Correct.
Right, from 2008, or when he won the under 19 T20 on a one day
Under 19 World Cup,
World Cup, and came back and then was picked up by RCB, and then he started playing and all. I mean, his focus was on white ball cricket, but then somewhere I think he is one guy who takes test cricket very seriously amongst all cricket captains. I would put it that way.
Yes.
In the world, because today you see Joe Root, poor fellow, was struggling to have the team that he wanted for the test matches.
Correct.
All people coming in, going out. Virat Kohli says, no chance. I want my full team here.
Yes.
I want this team to play cricket. So I think, one word of recognition or one word needs to go for the Indian captain, right?
Definitely. 100%. Definitely. I think he's played a very, very crucial role in taking Indian Test cricket forward. He was very he just wanted to win Test matches. I think when he took over the captaincy, also he just told one thing: I want to see Indian cricket being dominant in the world. So I think his thoughts, his wishes are coming true. We are just one step away. Virat Kohli does not have an ICC trophy, and poor fellow has been. Everyone criticizes him for that. Does not have an ICC trophy, does not have an IPL trophy, but I guess I think he's just one step away from having.
Yeah, let's hope. Keep our
fingers crossed. See, still,
we'll revisit this after the World Test Championship
on June 18 to June 22nd, whenever the Test match finals get over.
We'll revisit this. Okay, thanks, Arvind. Thanks for sparing the time and being on the show. It was excellent.
Thank you for bringing me to this show.
My privilege, our privilege actually, because some of the points you raised were fantastic. And we keep saying, you're welcome. You are welcome to have friends on the show. It's perfectly fine, because it's not our show. It's a show where, sports enthusiasts, movie enthusiasts, anybody who has anything to say is most welcome. So
definitely.
Thanks a lot. And we'll catch you soon, because IPL is coming. IPL is just a month away. Just a month away, exactly a month away.
Exactly a month away, April 9th.
So, yes. So thanks, and have a great day. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.